The King and No King by John Fletcher and Francis Beaumont. Act 2, Scene 1. The capital of Iberia, an apartment in the palace. Gobrius, my lord, be curious, you must have regard unto the queen. She is your prisoner. 'Tis at your peril if he make escape. Be curious, my lord, I know it. She is my prisoner, from you committed, yet she is a woman, and I keep her safe. You will not urge me to keep her close. I shall not shame to say I sorrow for her. Gobrius, so do I, my lord, and sorrow for her that so little grace. Don't govern her that she should stretch her arm against her king. So little womanhood and natural goodness as to think that that's of her own son. Arraign, though know that the reason why dissembling as thou art, and will not speak. Gobrius, there is a lady takes not after you. Her father is within her, that good man, whose tears paid down his sins. Mark how she weeps, how well it does become her, and if you can find no disposition in yourself to sorrow, yet by gracefulness in her find out the way, and you and by your reason weep. All this she does for you, and more she needs, when for yourself you will not lose a tear. Think how this want of grief discredits you, and you will weep because you cannot weep. Arraign, you talk to me as having got a time fit for your purpose, but you know I know you speak not what you think. Panthea, I would my heart were stone before my softness should be urged against my mother. A more troubled thought no bears about her. Should I excuse my mother's fault, I should set light a life in losing which a brother and a king were taken from me. If I seek to save that life so loved, I lose another life that gave me being. I shall lose a mother. A word of such a sound in a child's ear that it strikes reverence through it. May the will of heaven be done, and if one needs must fall, take a poor virgin's life to answer all. Arraign, but Gobrius, let us talk. You know this fault is not in me as in another woman. Gobrius, I know it is not. Arraign, yet you make it so. Gobrius, why is not all that's past beyond your help? Arraign, I know it is. Gobrius, nay. Should you publish it before the world, think you that would be believed? Arraign, I know it would not. Gobrius, nay. Should I join with you? With you, should we not both be torn and yet both die uncredited? Arraign, I think we should. Gobrius, why then take you such violent courses? As for me, I do but right in saving of the king from all your plots. Arraign the king, Gobrius. I bid you rest with patience, and a time would come for me to reconcile all to your own content, but by this way you take away my power, and what was done unknown was not by me but you. Your urging being done, I must preserve mine own, but time may bring all this to light, and happily for all. Rain, accursed be this over curious brain that gave that plot a birth, accursed this worm that after did conceive to my disgrace. Becurious, my lord protector, they say there are divers letter come from Armenia that Bessus has done good service and brought again a day by his particular valor. Receive you any to that effect, Gobrius? Yes, this most certain. Becurious, I am sorry for it, not that the day was won, but that it was won by him. We held him here a coward. He did me wrong once, at which I laughed, and so did all the world, for nor I nor any other held him worth my sword. Bessus, health to my lord protector from the king these letters, and to your grace, madam, these. Gobrius, how does his majesty Bessus, all as well as conquest by his own means and his valiant commanders, can make him? Your letters will tell you all. Panthea, I will not open mine till I do know my brother's health. Good captain, is he well? Bessus, as the rest of us that fought are. Panthea, but how's that? Is he hurt? Bessus, he's a strange soldier that gets not a hook knock. Panthea, I do not ask how strange that soldier is that gets not hurt, but whether he have one. Bessus, he had divers. Panthea, and is he well again? Bessus, well again, and please your grace, why I was run twice through the body, and shot it the head with a cross arrow, and yet I am well again. Panthea, I do not care how thou don't does it. Is he well? Bessus, not care how I do. Let a man out of my mightness of his spirit fructify foreign countries with his blood for the good of his own, and thus he shall be answered. Why, I am lived to relieve with a spear and shield such a lady as you distrust. Panthea, why I will care. I am glad that thou art well. I prithee, is he so? Gobrius, the king is well and will be there tomorrow. Panthea, my prayer is heard. Now will I open mine. Gobrius, Becurious, I must ease you of your charge, madam. Madam, the wanted mercy of the king that overtakes your faults, he has met with this and struck it out. He has foreign you freely your own will is your law. Be where you please. Arraign, I thank him, Gobrius. You will be ready to wait upon his majesty tomorrow. Arraign, I will. Curious, madame, be wise hereafter. I am glad I have lost this office. Gobrius, good Captain Bessus, tell us the discourse between Tigranes and our king and how we got the victory. Panthea, I prithee do. And if my brother were in any danger, let not thy tale make him abate there long before thou bring him off. For all that, while my heart will beat, Bessus, madame, let what will beat, I must tell the truth. And thus it was, they fought single in lists, but 1 to 1. As for my own part, I was dangerously hurt, but 3 days before, else perhaps we had been 2 to 2. I cannot tell. Some thought we had, and the occasion of my hurt was this. The enemy had made trenches. Gobrius, Captain, without the manner of your hurt be much material to this business. Well, heart some other time. Panthea, I prithee leave it and go on with my brother. Bessus, I will, but it would be worth your hearing to the lists they came, and single sword and gauntlet was their fight. Panthea, alas, Bessus, without the list there stood some dozen captains of either side, mingled, all which were sworn, and one of those was I, and it was my chance to stand next a captain of enemy's side called Arbaces. Valiant they said he was. Will these two kings were stretching themselves, this Arbaces cast something a scornful look on me and asked me who I thought would overcome. I smiled and told him if he would fight with me, he should precise by the event of that whose king would win. Something, he answered. A scuffle was like to grow when one Zippitus offered to help him. Panthea, all this of is thyself. I prithee, Bessus, tell something of my brother. Did he nothing? Bessus, see for his own part. Becurious, I fear, yet this fellow's abuse with a good report. Bessus, ay, but I, Panthea, still of himself. Bessus cried, give the word. When, as some of them say, Tigranes was stooping, but the word was not given, then yet one Khosrows of the enemy's part held up his finger to me, which is as much with as materialists as I will fight with you. I said not a word nor made sign during the combat, but that once done, Panthea, he sleeps over all the fight. Bessus, I called him to me. Khosrow said, I, Panthea, I will hear no more. Bessus, no, I lie. Becurious, I dare be sworn, though don't, Bessus captain, said I. So it was, Panthea, I tell thee, I will hear no further. Bessus, no, your grace will wish you had. Panthea, I will not wish it. What is this the lady my brother writes to me to take? Bessus, ain't please your grace, this is she. Charge will you come nearer the princess. Panthea, you are welcome from your country, and this land shall show unto you all the kindness that I can make it. What's your name? Speconia. Thalastris. Panthea, you are very welcome. You have got a letter to put you to me that has power enough to place mine enemy here. Then much more you that are so far from being so to me that you never saw me. Bessus, madame, my dear, pass my word for her truth. Speconia, my truth. Panthea, why, Captain, do you think I am afraid she'll steal? Bessus, I cannot tell servants are slippery, but I dare give my word for her and for her honesty. She came along with me, and many favors she did me, but the way, but by this light none but what she might do with modesty to a man of my rank. Panthea, why, Captain, here's nobody thinks otherwise. Bessus, nay, if you should, your grace may think you a player, but I am sure I brought her from Armenia, and in all that way, if ever I touched any bear of her above her knee, I pray God I may sink where I stand. Speconia.